where we're reading 2 Samuel 22 through 24. This is finishing up the end of David's reign, and honestly, these are some really weird chapters to put in there. We're going to see David very briefly in the first couple of chapters of First Kings, but realistically, these are the last things that he does, and I, I don't really know what they're in here for. 2 Samuel 22 is this prayer of praise to God, basically a reflection upon David's life and all the things that he's gone through, things that God has given to him, the blessings, things that God has given to him, as in the curses, the things that David has caused for himself and all the trouble that David has brought upon himself. He remembers that, he reminisces on that, and he is thankful to God for those things in chapter 22. It's a beautiful picture. When you get to chapter 23, you deal with something slightly differently. You have the last words of David, which are this praise of God and this he's just so impressed with who God is, and he communicates that. Those are his last words, even though he's not going to die until 2 Kings chapter 2, and still, sorry, 1 Kings chapter 2. So I don't know why they're here, but they are recorded here as kind of a summation statement on David's life. The rest of chapter 23 is this list of exploits that David's warriors have all accomplished throughout their lives, and it's weird stuff. Like, this guy killed 300 guys just because he did. This guy killed a lion in a cistern on a snowy day just because he did. And it's a lot of weird boasts and stuff, but it kind of tells you the caliber of people that David has been working with. They are very impressive, and for David to be their king, he must be very impressive. And so you're kind of enshrining this good memory of David as they go along. Unfortunately, by the time you get to chapter 24, that legacy is also kind of marred with David's hubris and his pride. As in chapter 24, David wants to count up basically how much of an army he has. How many people does he have? How impressive is it? How much can he go and conquer? And God says this is a bad idea. God wanted to cause trouble for Israel. I don't know what that means. And he incited David to do this. I don't know exactly how that works. Joab says this is a bad idea, and David, as soon as he counts the people, he realizes it's a bad idea, to which point he repents of that. He asks God what he can do to make it right, and God basically sends a plague, kills like 70,000 people, until David steps in and is willing to offer a sacrifice to God. And the place that he offers that sacrifice, this is very important for the next few chapters, that place that he offers the sacrifice to stop the plague and save the people, that place of the sacrifice is going to become the place that the temple is built atop in 1 Kings chapter 7. So we're going to see that next week as that develops. David offers the sacrifice to save the people. That's where the temple is. That's where God is going to live. And that's going to be an important theme as we move forward. That's David's life. We'll see you next week for 1 Kings 1 through 10 to talk about Solomon.